Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
On 1st and 10, Prescott, and incomplete to open things up. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now a play fake here on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. He lets it fly for Lockett, and that's caught inside the 35. And he is finally out of bounds all the way down at the 30. It's a big play there for Seattle, 47 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, We keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson steps away to his left. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson being chased out left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus. From
the 22, here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Tackle made by Rasheem Green.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's got Moncrief. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 11 and a 1st down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Out to his left. Spinning again. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Escaping the pressure right. He lets it fly for Lockett. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Wilson, flush to his right. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. The 13 yards that time at a first.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
Now Wilson on 1st down. It's complete to Jerome Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Wide open receiver complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. To throw again is Wilson. Flushed out right. Leaves it for Penny. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. So we'll get a 2nd and goal when we come back. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Play action. It's Wilson. Steps away. Touchdown! Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 2nd down, Prescott. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's got it to Hearns. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And James has it. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Malik McDowell there to make the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's his target, the tight end, Will Tye. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They give this to Elliott, and he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And Bullock will put this one through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. And his 2 touchdowns, a big reason they're winning right now.
So meaningful when you score and it's got your team out there in front. Changes the complexion of everything you're doing. It's one thing to score, garbage time, but these count. This is a big deal, and he's making those types of plays, and I think they'll keep finding ways to get it to him.
I was just going to say probably going to go back to it. On the move to his left. He's got his man in the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now it's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Wilson forced out to his left. The 20. It's caught. Lockett. A very solid gain of 27.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Buying time to his left. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Throwing again here. Wilson eluding the pressure right. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Wilson will throw again, escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points by the wayside on that one.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And it's the Giants who have the lead as they approach halftime. Odell Beckham, a touchdown reception. From there, we head east to Minnesota to check on the Vikings at home at U.S. Bank Stadium. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Finally, let's get over to Carson, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And as you see, they are currently all tied with the visiting Denver Broncos. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He's going to air this, and this will be caught at the 30.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 46 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, They're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down after a very nice game. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice game there. This one goes for 20.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sean Lee. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
And on 2nd and goal, they decide to throw it again, and this result is even worse. They take a sack. On first down, it was simply an incomplete pass. Not a good first 2 plays, beginning with 1st and goal.
Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Prescott now, flushed out right. And he slides to avoid the hit. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Malik McDowell coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking this.
And this is caught at the 20. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15.
All right, partner, that's it. That's a video game highlight catch right there. Acrobatic, one hand, come down with the football. Look, if you and I are playing Madden right now, I'm throwing down my control. I'm done. That's it. I can't do this anymore. Yet, we see it happen just about every week. All these guys need is a chance, and they're making those types of plays. even if we don't believe what we just saw.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Rolling to his left. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first. There goes Allen Hurns. Touchdown, Cowboys. Allen Hurns, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They go play action now. Wilson, he'll buy some time right. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. They start on the ground with Elliott. Finding some room at midfield. And And they're running right through it.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Prescott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Will Tye, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So they get the score still down, but bottom line is they kept themselves in the game.
They did keep hope alive, Brandon. That's exactly what they did. Now they've got to deliver and finish things off.
Bullock good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
23 yards on the play. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson dancing to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A very solid gain of 27.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. He got 29 yards that time.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
From the gun, it's Wilson. The quick slant caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Second and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield. Penny will try to punch it in, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, his second touchdown on the season, and the Seahawks add on to their lead. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now Prescott. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The pressure drops off as they look to throw. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Now after the play, oh, man, it's Prescott who appears to be shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. First chance for the backup here to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
A dump off to Elliott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Running with Elliott. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Ezekiel Elliott not able to get it past the marker. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Throwing now is Wilson. Being chased out left. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Oh, the Cowboys recovered it. Yes, Cowboy football. So they needed the onside kick. They got it. Now they need a field goal.
And that's the beauty of this. They don't have to get 6. A field goal ties the ball game for them. Nicely executed play.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. Out to his left. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity.
That's caught inside the 20. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 44 yards. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. Steps away. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Back to throw. Forced out to... He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. Wow. So many practices we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there.
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? Point after, right down the middle. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage.
Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Seahawks, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the LA Rams come to town. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face
Start your week by installing your game plan.